Hey guys, so today we are going to create a walking loop. So our end goal is for your little character to be strutting his stuff down our imaginary ground here. We're going to use stop motion since this is what we have been doing the past few class periods. But what we're going to do differently now instead of in the past is, unlike the fly or the hand or the football where it's been a solid shape and you've just kind of positioned it in different places around your stage, now we're going to do it the real way. And the real way being us drawing our different body positions wherever they need to go. And then when we play those pictures in order, it looks like our character is doing something. So we're just going to start off with a really simple walking loop. And we're going to use this picture right here to kind of help us draw those positions so we don't have to come up with it 100% on our own. But when we're done today, this is what we're going to have right here. So we're going to use my little file back and forth as examples for stuff, but we're going to walk you through getting everything set up. Now what's going to be different also today is my little walking dude right here is a symbol. And if you look right here where my mouse is swimming around, you're going to see it says walking or walking dude or whatever yours ends up being called. So if I go back to my main stage, here's my finished little character. And if I look up at my timeline, I don't have all the black dots for stop motion. It's because it's inside of my symbol. It's where all these little poses are. So think of symbols, which is the new thing for today. Think of symbols as like your grocery sack. And when you go to Walmart and you help your mom or whoever carrying groceries, you put them in sacks to carry them in so you can bring lots of things at once. You can package it up. If you carry in every little individual item, it's a little tedious. You end up dropping things, breaking eggs, stuff like that. We don't want that to happen. So when we animate stuff, anything that's going to be super repetitive, why not pop it in a symbol, like this guy, and it will just continuously play over and over and over again. Now hopefully you also notice that this character, when that animation starts over, you can't really see it happen. That's also our goal, is to make a seamless loop, so it's like a nice little circle of life and we never see the beginning and the end truly happen. There's no glitch, there's nothing telling me it's starting over. So let's get yours started. So we opened up number 4, which is walking cycle. And you should have 3 layers. You should have a walking loop layer, a pose help layer, which is just some notes from me, and then of course your sketch picture that's going to help us draw our walking dude. You should also see that you have some guidelines, some turquoise guidelines here. The one on the bottom represents the ground. That's where our foot is going to strike. And then this one up here represents just the way our head is going to travel up and down as we sink down as we hit the ground and push back up. So that's just there to show you the transition of up and down. So let's make our first symbol ever. Go into walking loop layer. And this is the easiest way. This is how I like to do it. It's probably not the most official way, but it's fast. So go get your paintbrush and fill it with the color black. And that's going to be helpful because that's what we're going to use here in a sec anyway. And get a big old fat paintbrush and just write an S for symbol. Super S. Now let's symbol this little S squiggle. I'll get my black arrow, V on my keyboard, and I'm going to right click on my squiggle, and then down here at the bottom it says convert to symbol. This is where I get to name my symbol, and naming your symbol is so important. I know I've hounded you in the past to name your layers, but naming your symbol is actually a really big deal. So do not let it just be called symbol 1. I'm going to call this a walking dude. After that, you have a choice of what type of symbol it is. It can be a movie clip, it can be a button, or it can be a graphic. For us right now, movie clip's fine. Button is for web and games and stuff like that, so you can totally get away with movie clip or graphic on basically any of the stuff that we're going to do, but you for sure do not want to use a button unless I ask you to, and that will be a whole separate stuff that we'd have to learn to do that, and hopefully we'll have time later in the semester for that. So movie clip's fine for right now. and OK. So now my little S here is packaged up in this little blue box. You'll notice that when you just kind of casually click on it to move it around, you don't get that dotted pattern all over it like you used to with the drawing. So this is our symbol, and it is in our walking loop layer. So let's get started drawing our stop motion poses. To do that, we're going to do it in the symbol. So I'm just going to double click anywhere on my squiggle. Notice if I double click around it, nothing happens. I have to be on the black ink right here. And then I'm in. I know I'm in because it says walking dude right up here in the corner. That's my symbol, that's where I'm at. Drag this little guy out of the way for right now. We'll deal with him later. And we're going to get started drawing our people. Now you'll notice I have some notes up here for you. Normal poses and switched poses. We're going to focus on these first 5 normal poses to kick this off. But when you're done, we're going to have 8 different layers and 8 different people walking in different poses to make our walking loop. So this is pose 1, directly below it, pose 2, pose 3, pose 4, and hiding behind this S here is pose 5. Go ahead and name your first layer, pose 1, P1, position 1, whatever you want to call it. And zoom in, because it sure is a lot easier to draw things when you can actually see it on this first little dude here. Now when we've drawn other things in the past, I've asked you to use the line tool and to make it look really nice. Today we're just going for speed and to learn this stuff, so keep rocking that paintbrush tool. It is obviously not the most official thing in the world. You're going to draw your little head shape, and then you're going to start drawing this body. Now this is a big deal. Even though we're not drawing for beauty, we still need to think about anatomy and these weird flipper hands here. So make sure you have a little armpit area. Come across here, down my belly here, have my leg connect into my hip area. Try not to go past that guideline for the ground. Now, I'm going to draw this other little flipper hand here, ignoring the fact that pose 2 kind of overlaps it. Same thing for back here. And then I can come back in and fill in my black arm and black leg with my paint bucket tool. Now the idea behind this black arm and the black leg on our drawing and what we're making represents the left-hand side of our body. So this white side, and you're going to eventually color it in with something, this green arm and leg is going to represent the right-hand side of our body. So this is so we don't get our arms and legs mixed up. So make sure you can color everything in. You don't want it to be see-through. If you can't color something in, just because you're painting with your paintbrush tool doesn't mean you still need to not watch out for holes. So somewhere you have a little gap and you can just paint over it with your paintbrush tool to get our kind of humanoid shape here. When you're done drawing this little S shape over here, you can just delete that. If you check out your library, you're going to see your walking dude symbol, and there's a little dude you just drew. Now that is pose 1. Pose 1, layer 1, whatever you named it up here. That is the only thing that is going to exist on this layer. So when we're done drawing it, we need to extend our pose for a few more frames so it lasts a little bit longer on our stage. I want to go all the way out to pose 5. And if you're having a hard time seeing all these little boxes up here, the newer versions of Flash has this little zoom option right here, up in the bottom right-hand side of your timeline. You'll see these little mountains. So if you need to, zoom in on that. And it sure does make it a little easier to see how and where you're clicking on your timeline. So I'm in layer 1, I clicked on frame 5, and I'm clicking F5 to extend it out. F6 gives you this dot, F5 adds time and gives you this little rectangle shape to end your pose. I am now done with this layer. Lock it. It's beautiful. I don't want to mess it up. So now I'm going to move on to pose 2, which is this little guy right here. So I'm going to make a new layer, call it pose 2. Then I want you to just take a quick look at what it's giving you here. Whenever you make a new layer, that new layer is going to try and help you, and it's going to try to be as long as whatever you did last time. So for us, that was 5 frames. So notice you have a dot, but it's not black. And also you have a chunk of time here, but it's not light gray like pose 1. It's almost the exact same color as all these other frames. This is Flash kind of sectioning off this amount of time for you, which is going to be handy because we do not want anything to appear in here. We're going to come right after that square at frame 6, and then that is where we're going to draw pose 2. So I'm going to do a little F6 action, and then while I'm there, why not hit F5 to extend out my time for another 5 frames, just like I did right here, so it's nice and even. So now I have two chunks of time, 1 through 5, which I'm not going to touch, 6 through 10, which is where I'm going to draw my next guy. I'm going to draw it the exact same way I did last time. Same colors, same everything. My armpit. My black arm, my black leg, and then we'll fill it in with the same color I used last time. You're calling what you want to use. And there's my 2 poses. There's pose 1, there's pose 2. You should never see 2 people at once. If you're getting a crowd, then something's wrong. Something's wrong up here on your timeline. So we only want to see one person and then the other person. So when you're done, if you look at your timeline, I hope that you notice that it looks like stair steps. This is what your timeline is going to look like when you're finished. So there's 1 and 2, which we've already done. When you make your next layer and you move on to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it looks like nice even stairs. So at whatever point in this video that this is popping up, remember what time this is, and you can come back to this and just take a quick peek at this timeline. You can pause it, do what you need to do, so you have that reassurance that your stuff looks correct. Also notice that wherever these black dots are, there's a chunk of time in front of it that has nothing. So this is super important. That's like little frames holding out these good poses out here where our stair step is. When I'm done with pose 2, I'll lock it, make my next layer, pose 3. And again, there's my chunk of nothing up here, 1 through 10. So I'm going to come to frame 11 right after that, hit F6. I've got a new drawing dot. While I'm here, I'll do a little F5 at 15, so then it's a chunk of 5. And I'm going to move on to my next drawing. Okay? So then there's some more stair step action. I'm going to pause this video and I'm just going to go ahead and draw poses 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you 6, 7, and 8, because 6, 7, and 8 are kind of funky. So go ahead and keep working along for 3, 4, and 5. I'll pop up some quick poses of what they should look like. And then we'll come back again and do 6, 7, and 8.